on it. Boom, 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 boom. And I do believe the green light is on, which means one thing. That means that we are live and it's a blessed, wonderful, beautiful. Couldn't ask for a better day on a sleepless Thursday, my goodness, to kick off one of two shows for the day. Pull up a chair, episode 109. Thank you everybody for being tuned in live and everybody that'll be watching afterwards over the span of the next week as well. It's your host, the Crim de la Crim, the one that they do in fact call him Mr. El Tucker Tente, the ultimate sensei, a.k.a. We'll save the rest for Sleepless Radio 251 Saturday night, which will be Outkast versus Ray Shremmerd. You heard it there first, Battle of Two Generations of Atlanta, and that will be a winner's bracket matchup for Saturday, but this is Pull Up a Chair episode 109. Hope everybody's been having a blessed, wonderful, beautiful week as well. Lots of blessings, a lot of smiles, lots of fun. Obviously, it's July 3rd, so it's July 4th Eve. Make sure to leave out your Olympic gold medals and your milk for Kurt Angle, who did it all with a broken freaking neck, brother. And no, shout out to Kurt Angle. Shout out to July 4th. Happy July 4th as well to everybody. America, baby. America. Hell yeah. Coming again to save the mother humping day. Yeah, America. Yeah, I just had to do a little Team America right there. But no, it's been a blessed, wonderful week. Got some gaming in. Been ranking up on gears, been playing the shit out of that campaign as well. Been playing GM mode, WWE. I'm going to be sharing something about that moving forward as well, too, which is going to be pretty cool. Going to be going live, doing some GM mode, having some fun with the Bumps and Bruises crew. But no, what else I've been doing? Let's see. Well, broken record, but over the past couple weeks, I've really been hammering out and working a lot on the Sell Me This Pen EP, just having probably the most I've ever had, just recording and just having a shitload of fun every day with it. So I'm looking really forward to you guys hearing that. We got some records coming out, Xbox Kid, Mount Cushmore. We got some fun shit coming. As always with me too, card subject to change. I might make a song the day before I put out the EP and it's going to make the list. But it's just one of those things, just how it goes. But no, once again, I hope everybody's had a blessed, wonderful week. Obviously, we're talking about it more towards the end of the episode, but RIP Michael Madsen. That news broke today, and as somebody who's a big Quentin Tarantino guy, Michael Madsen played a very pivotal role in a lot of those movies, and definitely going to have to pop one of those in for sure tonight or tomorrow and just kind of sit back and enjoy it and just kind of reflect and honor the legacy that is Michael Madsen. But I know somebody else that's been having a pretty good week, much better week than any of us I feel I could have thought, at least up until certain key pieces of evidence came out over the span of the last week. But Diddy, well, Diddy got a little lucky. Brian Steele beats his second RICO in 9 months. My goodness, he's the attorney MVP. But no, looks like as of yesterday, for those of you that didn't see, for those of you that did see as well, looks like they ended up saying Diddy was guilty on 2 out of 5 of the counts. Honestly, the less serious of the 5 charges. So now he's going to be facing his sentencing on October 3rd. Yep, I know. Let the memes roll in. I already got my shit off too with it from Mean Girls when she goes, it's October 3rd. That's going to be him to his cellmate that day. But October 3rd is going to be a big tell-all day. There's some people that think he's going to walk free. There's some people that think he's going to get a couple of years, maybe 5. People that think he's going to get 10 years. People think he's going to face up to 20 years. So I guess it's just going to be one of those things where we're just going to kind of have to see how it unfolds, kind of how it pans out. But as of yesterday, it looks like Kid Cudi testified for nothing. That ended up being pointless. Looks like all of this trauma that Cassie has unfortunately had to endure and, kind of put herself through ultimately results in essentially fucking nothing. We're past 7 seconds, so I think I can let a pH bomb go off. But as of right now, though, it looks as, if I'm speculating based on the 2 things that he's charged with and the judge denying bail, I don't see a world where he walks free, but I also don't really see a world where he gets a lot of time. I think given how everything panned out, given what he was convicted guilty of, I think you're looking at somewhere between 4 to 5. If I'm a guessing man, I think he's going to get maybe 4 to 5 years, maybe 3 to 5, somewhere in there. He might get a year off, time served, maybe. I could see them doing something like that, saying, hey, here's some time served. But the other thing, though, that I find really interesting is like when the news broke that, yeah, he's not guilty of essentially the crazier stuff, is that there's people celebrating it. Like we have a completely innocent man here that was just wrongfully charged on everything and wrongfully accused on everything. You literally had people. We live in a Boondocks episode. I see that shit all the time, and every day I see Idiocracy and the Boondocks all over the place because they literally had Diddy supporters and family dousing themselves in baby oil outside the courthouse when the verdict was reached. And people don't see mental illness just running rampant like on the streets with this shit. Like each of those individuals need betterhelp.com. And the other thing I didn't appreciate about everybody celebrating him like he was just a completely innocent, wrongfully accused man. Did we not all watch the same Cassie video from that hotel? I know people are saying, oh, Cassie shot herself in the foot and Cassie never should have had that voicemail. What I say at the beginning of this, don't care about any of that. As far as if that should mean if Diddy's a good person or not. We all watched that hotel video. We all saw exactly how he treats women behind closed doors and what he'll do to get away from it. Yeah, he didn't get off completely scot-free. It's just the stuff that I think people wanted to see him charged with is the stuff that didn't stick, is the stuff that unfortunately fell through, which now results in these people dousing themselves in baby oil and results in people trying to support Diddy and saying, oh, I can listen to him again. Again, I'm going to keep referencing that video. If you can support somebody whose actions are displayed the way they were in that video of him in that hotel room, then I don't know what to tell you, but I can't support that shit. Take it all away. I don't want none of it. I saw a lot of people, I mentioned it briefly there too. A lot of people are saying like, oh, now Kid Cudi testified for nothing. Personally, I don't think it was for nothing. It was another reminder of even if these charges don't stick, this is the type of individual that we're dealing with. Almost impossible, hard to charge someone with a RICO, so I don't know why people are surprised by this. I think people were more so surprised in this case, as opposed to the Young Thug RICO, I guess you could say, is it just seems like how the hell could he ever have gotten out of this? Because day after day, it seemed like just every name in the book was coming up saying, Diddy did this, Diddy did that, I have this, I have that evidence. All the baby oil, him escaping the raid and being on the move. I think people just saw that. And from for example, my perspective, I was kind of like, wow, I don't see how in the world he's going to get out of this. But then as evidence started happening, as the trial was ongoing, certain things started to go, okay. I know about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, when there was that evidence that came out of Cassie threatening that person and leaving that voicemail. That to me, if I'm her attorney and I'm standing next to her and I'm blindsided by that, I'm going to look over at her and be like, are you kidding me? You couldn't fill me in on that one ahead of time? I didn't know that was coming? Are you kidding me? You're literally over here consenting to shit on the phone, threatening other people just like he does on a phone with your name on it. Are you stupid or are you dumb? I'm sorry to talk to the victim like that because trust me, I'm all love to Cassie. I think she is the victim in all of this. And I think the verdict that came out, I do believe she deserved a lot better than that. But at the same time, you got to call shit down the middle. I'd be looking at that going, are you kidding me? Because now you just shot this whole case in the foot, knowing that can come out. I just, that part, as trying to think of the attorney's perspective, I just know he's shaking his head at that. Like, you got to be kidding me. No way does Brian Steele have that on us. But as it stands of now, we're going to wait on October 3rd, kind of see how it unfolds, see what he gets time-wise. We can speculate all day, but truth be told, we're just not going to know until October 3rd how this is going to shake up and how this is going to go. Meanwhile, they've done this whole entire trial, and YNW Melly's on his 15th retrial. But free Melly, I know that much. Free Durkio as well while we're at it. But looks like, I would never say it, I would never support it, but it looks like October 3rd, there's a chance that Diddy might be free as well. Who knows? Time will tell. However, speaking of time will tell, pivot off into something that I enjoy talking about a lot more than that dirtbag piece of garbage, Puff Daddy. Let's talk about some new music coming out tonight. We got some new music dropping on America's birthday. We got NBA YoungBoy kicking it off with Make America Slime Again. I'm cool on that. That sounds like some Kids' Choice Awards Nickelodeon bullshit. But I used to be a huge fan of Young Boy. It declines more and more with every project he puts out. Hopefully, there's a banger or two on it, or maybe a career revival. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. We're getting an ASAP Rocky single. I saw the snippet earlier this week. We got Pray for the Gang. So we got that coming out tonight. We got the ASAP Nast. So we got the ASAP Mob in full force tonight. ASAP Nast and Destroy Lonely with a record called AMG Music. Then we got Tory Lanez. Knew I smelled shit. Front Row Bedsheet, new record coming out. For those of you that do support that clown, he's got a new record coming out. JID has a GDLU Prelux mixtape. He's out thinking everybody. We're going Prelux, brother. But no, I'm looking really forward to that. That's a mixtape. I do believe it's going to be on all DSPs. However, I could see that being like a SoundCloud, YouTube thing as well. But as of now, I do believe it's going to be DSPs. We got Brent Fayaz with Peter Pan, Tony Soprano. Looking really forward to checking that out. What a wild name as well. We got Logic coming out with something new called The Adventures of Cocaine Larry. Logic's on coke now. Oh, God. That means every 3 minutes he's going to remind us that he's biracial. Maybe even 3 seconds. Next we got, which I do believe the video's out now, but I don't believe the record's on DSPs, and I haven't heard it yet. But we got Chance the Rapper, Lil Wayne, and Smino with a new record called Tree. I'm really looking forward to that. And we got Ski Mask the Slump God, Catch Me Outside 2. So he's spinning the block on his big breakout hit, Catch Me Outside, doing Catch Me Outside 2. And I'll tell you, that's a pretty good lineup. Looking forward to stuff tonight. Obviously, I'm looking really forward to Jid, the Flow God. Big Jid fan. Shout out Dreamville. Shout out ASAP Mob. Love seeing ASAP Rocky back with Pray for the Gang. Looking really forward to that. The snippet sounded dope. Make America Slime again. Like I said, I'll dive into it, kind of jump around. The Chance joint is on DSPs already. Thank you to good brother Doomer, KRS3. So the Chance joint is available on all DSPs. We'll be listening to that soon as well. Probably once we wrap up the pod, I'm going to give that a listen to. I actually didn't know that was fully out yet, or I'd have a review for you. But no, I'm looking really forward to that. The Brent Fayaz. Looking forward to the Logic. As you know, big Logic fans here. Looking forward to the Ski Mask Slump God. Tory Lanez, he can go to hell in a handbasket and fall out of the handbasket because he's too short to even fucking see over top of it. So besides Tory, I like everything that looks like it's coming tonight. I'm actually really excited for that. Looks like we got a lot of good stuff coming out over the course of the last week. I know Apple Music released their all-time list, so I'll briefly go through that. I'll just go 1 through 25. We'll do a 1 through 25. Number 1, Good News, Mac Miller. Number 2, It's a Long Way to the Top, AC/DC. Number 3, Free Smoke, Drake. Number 4, Freebird, Leonard Skinner. Number 5, 2009, Mac Miller. Number 6, Under the Bridge, Red Hot Chili Peppers. Number 7, For Y'all, featuring Jack Keish, Young Thug. Number 8, Where the Hood At, DMX, RIP. Number 9, Look Alive, featuring Drake, Block Boy JB. Number 10, Better Off Dying, Lil Peep. Number 11, Right, Mac Miller. Number 12, Ben's Truck Remix, Lil Peep. Number 13, Take Me Home Country Roads, John Denver. Number 14, All of a Sudden, Lil Baby, Moneybagg Yo. Number 15, Once a Day, Mac Miller. Number 16, In Too Deep, Sum 41. Number 17, Family Don't Matter, Young Thug. Number 18, Off Top, DaBaby. Number 9, Galchester, Drake. Number 20, Depression and Obsession, Triple X Tentacion. Number 21, Euphoria Live, Mac Miller. Number 22, AA, Isaiah Rashad. Number 23, Dunno, Mac Miller. Number 24, Reminder, The Weeknd. And number 25, Run Through the Jungle, CCR, Creedence Clearwater Revival. I know we got a little bit of a hodgepodge there, don't we? A little bit of a lot going on there, I know. But that is my top 25 of my replay all time. I think maybe next episode I'll do 26 through 50, kind of have some fun with it. But no, a lot of new music that's been coming out too that I've been listening to a lot. Code of the Fiend, No Rap on Sunday. Highly recommend checking that out. That's incredible. Been listening to Lizzo's new rap album a lot. Shout out Lizzie. She was getting her shit off on that album. I really like Wild by Russ. I thought User Guide was an incredible joint. Highly recommend checking that out. Yams by Bad Baby. I saw that came out, saw that was pretty good. I'm a Bad Baby fan now. She's a lyricist, baby. Get it right. Catch her outside. How about that? My June 25 gems. But if you want to secure some bags and bump some gems with your good friend, the Ultimate Sensei, we got the June 25th playlist available now. Looking really forward to seeing what you guys think on that. And just excited to see where looks like a lot of the new drops are coming tonight. Looking forward to see how they're going to sound, what everybody thinks of them as well. We got a new movie coming out today as well that I'm looking really forward to seeing. Jurassic World, I believe it's called Rebirth. Trust me, I get it. The concept of the Dino Zoo, it never works out right. It always ends bad for everybody involved. I think they're able to keep the dinosaurs in the park for maybe a week. And then Chris Pratt's got to get on a fucking back of a fucking raptor and go hunt them down and try to be one with the raptors. So I guess we'll just have to kind of see how that new Jurassic World goes. Looks like a fun movie, though. You got the female lead with, my goodness, Scarlett Johansson getting the main lead on it. So I'm looking really forward to that. Plus, I'm a big Jurassic World fan. My grandmother, she loved, my grandma June, she loved it as well. My dad, he's always been a big Jurassic World guy, too. And they're just fun movies. Like I said, the Dino Zoo never works, so it's fun to watch the dinosaurs just break out and stomp on everybody and ruin their day. Because apparently you think you can keep a T-Rex in the same exhibit you can keep an elephant in. I don't get it. But speaking of movies, though, something that I did see that was on the timeline and on the Reddit streets that I wanted to talk about was Rotten Tomatoes came out with their Pixar movie scores, where they scored all of their Pixar movies and they released it and wanted to see kind of what everybody's Rotten Tomatoes picks are. And I feel like this could be something fun for our cinema geeks and our movie buffs like myself to try to see what they got right and what they got wrong and what they really got right and what they really got wrong and what your favorite Pixar movies are as well as mine. So please leave a comment. I'm excited to see what your favorites and least favorites are as well, but we keep the love high and the hate low. You know how that goes. Well, to start off, from 100% down to their lowest ranked one, you got Toy Story 2 at 100%, with Toy Story 1 also at 100%. Those are the only two that scored a complete 100. You got Finding Nemo, 99%. Inside Out, 98%. Excuse me. Toy Story 3, 98%. Up, 98%. Coco, 97%. The Incredibles, 97%. Toy Story 4, 96%. Ratatouille, 96%. The same thing with Monsters, Inc. Then you got at the 95%, you got Soul, Turning Red, and WALL-E. For the 94%, you got Finding Dory. Then you got at 93, Incredibles 2. Bug's Life at 92. Inside Out 2 at 91. Luca at 91. Onward at 88. Elio at 83, which that surprises me. Monsters University at 80. Brave at 78. The Good Dinosaur at 76. Lightyear at 74. Cars at 74. Elemental, 73. Cars 3, 69%. And Cars 2, they gave it's rotten. They gave it 40%. So, with that being the scores, I think there's more hundreds than they gave out, to be honest. Like, for my hundreds, I would say give me Toy Story 1 and 2. I like that. Give me Up. Give me Incredibles 1. Ratatouille. Come on. That's an easy 100%. Give me... You know what? You got to give me Monsters, Inc. Give me that one 100% as well. And I'm going to say that's the hundreds. That's the hundreds right there is those five. Those are my 500s. Those are my perfect across the board. Try to go a little under than that. Finding Nemo, I think that's too high. I put Finding Nemo at like 90. I put Incredibles 2 at about a 95. I put Bug's Life at probably a 95. I put Cars at a 95. I put Lightyear. I really like Lightyear a lot too. Wow. I'd probably put Lightyear at a 90. I thought that was really good. Then this is where it's going to get a little bit okay. Toy Story 3, Toy Story 4, I would probably say give 80s. I'd probably put an 80 on both of those. Monsters University, I'd probably say be a 75. Cars 2 and Cars 3, I'd probably say is like a 50. Elemental, I would say is the biggest bust on all this. I haven't seen Elio yet, but from when I saw Elemental, I'd probably put Elemental at like a 20. Good brother Dimmer said Bug's Life is an easy 100. Yeah, Bug's Life for me, I got a 95 it, but I could easily probably trip that one into the 100% though. Bug's Life is such a banger. Such a classic. Wall-E, I never cared for Wall-E. I'm gonna be honest. I always thought Wall-E was overrated. I'd probably give Wall-E like a 50. Finding Dory, I'll be honest, I thought that was shit. I'd probably give that like a 25, 30. Turning Red, I actually thought was pretty good, but I still wouldn't rank it at a 95. I'd probably give Turning Red like a 60. Soul, I really liked Soul. I thought Soul was underrated. I'd probably say I'd give Soul like a 40. No, take that back. I'd give Soul like 70. I'd give Soul a 70%. Same with Good Dinosaur. I'd give Good Dinosaur like a 65%. Not quite on the level of Soul, but I'd put it right there. Elemental, I thought was trash. Luca, I thought was trash. Soul was a 90. I got to go back and watch Soul again, man. I really do. I love that movie. I actually, you know what? I got to probably bump that one up. You do it justice. Coco, I thought was really good. I thought I wouldn't give it a 97, though. I'd probably give Coco like a 70, which means, yeah, I'd give Soul an 80 then. I'd give Soul an 80. Luca, though, I'm putting it right there at the 20% with Elemental. I thought Brave was pretty good. I wouldn't give Brave a 78, though. I'd give Brave like a 60, 65. Monsters University, yeah, I'd have that one pretty low, too, as well. But then that brings me, though, to my favorite Pixar movies and my least favorite Pixar movies. We're going to do a bad news, good news thing, so I'll start with my least favorite Pixar movies first. Least favorite Pixar movies, I'll give 5 for each. Elemental, that's my worst one. Then Luca. Then Onward. Then Wall-E. Then Cars 3. That'd be my 5 least favorite. My 5 favorite in order, though, would go, you got to give me Toy Story 1. You got to give me Toy Story 1. It don't get better than Toy Story 1. Give me Toy Story 1. Then give me Toy Story 2. I'm a big Toy Story guy. Then give me Ratatouille. Man, I love Ratatouille. When that chef was trying to figure out that Linguini had the rat under his hat, my God, I loved it. He goes, we're going to make burritos. I loved him. That was my favorite character in that thing. Number 4, give me Up. I absolutely love that movie. For number 5, give me the first Incredibles. Yeah, give me Incredibles 1. Or, depending on which way the wind blows that day, give me Bug's Life. But that would be my 5 favorites and my 5 least favorites. But no, I thought that'd be a lot of fun getting to rank those movies with y'all. And I'm looking very forward to seeing what your guys' favorites and least favorites are as too. Yeah, I got to go back and give Soul a chance as well again. And I got to watch Bug's Life again, man. It's been so long, my God. But now to pivot off into some sports talk, because there's been a lot of sports news that's been unfolding over the course of the last week. What caught my eye the most was there's another LeBron James trade rumor. Here's a drinking game. Take a shot every time LeBron James wants to go to a different team. My God, man, I can't believe people still think that dude's the greatest of all time. That's an absolute joke to me at this point. But LeBron wants to come home one more time to Cleveland, it looks like, or at least he's open to it. And it looks like he definitely doesn't want to stay in LA. Well, I'll start it off by this. LeBron, if it was up to me, you are not welcome back here as a Cleveland Cavalier. If it was up to me, but it's not. And given the talent that's on the Cavs roster right now, I feel truthfully like if we brought LeBron James into the mold, he's just going to send somebody off that he don't like when shit doesn't start working and going to mess the whole entire thing up. But what do I know? I personally don't want to see him back in Cleveland. I don't feel like watching him go, Cleveland, this is for you, just to turn around and leave 6 months later because Kyrie decided to do the same thing. Personally, I think LeBron James has pretty much for the better part of his career just been a cancer, really, to the NBA. Personally, that's how I feel about the guy. I don't think he's the greatest of all time. In fact, I don't even think he's close. But that is the rumor. That it looks like he could be on the move, and one of his landing spots could be back home in Cleveland, which, by the way, use that loosely. He's from Akron. He's from Akron. He's not from Cleveland. He's from Akron. But that's a whole other debate for a different day. I just personally feel like LeBron just needs to just hang it up at this point. Just hang it up. And there's no shame in that. But the more he continues, he's just going to ruin the legacy that y'all think he's got such a high one of. How many times can he lose in the playoffs before we're going to have to eventually look at that and go, well, his playoff track record compared to the other greatest of all time kind of looks drastically different from the ones that are labeled as the greatest of all time. But again, what do I know? I'm the LeBron hater, right? I got my hater hat on. Damn it. Is that the hat that I chose today? No, I can't help it when it comes to him, though. I know it's keep the love high and the hate low, but I like to turn that shit up when it comes to King James. Get the fuck out of here. But it looks like he's going to be coming back to Cleveland. Some people are excited about it. Some people aren't. As you can tell, I'm one of the ones that are definitely not happy about it, because obviously I think it would involve a trade, and God knows he loves pulling those strings, trying to make anything happen that he can. You pretty much nailed it, not to mention forcing Bronny on everyone didn't help either. Yeah, and now Lakers don't even look like they want to keep Bronny, and Bron's dad wants to leave the team and leave his son stranded there. When he made that move to draft him in the second round, when we all knew that Bronny James couldn't play basketball more than better than anybody in the G League. But because he's LeBron's dad or LeBron's son, we're going to bring him right into the league and throw him into the deep end and watch him sink. His dad didn't do shit about it, besides press a 65-year-old Stephen A. Smith when he said something about his kid's shit play. That's why, man, you can never get me to change my mind about LeBron. In fact, it only gets worse as the years go on with that guy. But you heard it here first. Stay out of Cleveland. We don't want you here. You're not welcome back, at least not to me. But I'll tell you who would be welcomed in Cleveland. The guy who just got waived out of nowhere as he's rehabilitating his ACL injury, Mr. Agent Zero, Damian Lillard. For those of you that didn't see, Damian Lillard, I mean, granted, it's a blessing for him, but he was released on his contract with them still having to pay him each year up to 5 years. I believe it's somewhere upwards around $22 million. And they released him while he's injured. So now it looks like Damian Lillard's a free agent as he rehabilitates his ACL. Now that's somebody I'd like to see come back and be a damn good bench depth at this point in his career for Cleveland. I've always loved Damian Lillard. I would love to see Damian get a ring. I think it's more than well-deserved at this point. I personally, now that's somebody I'd love to see come to Cleveland. I'd welcome him with open arms. Come on in, Dame. Because at this point in his career, I think Dame realizes he's no longer the guy that's going to give you 35 plus minutes a night and give you 50 points. He wants to come out there and be a Chris Paul at this point in his career. And I think that's something that we could definitely use in Cleveland to add to that bench depth. Man, Dame, come on, doors open. Come on back. Come on. We welcome you with open arms, Dame. I promise you. But I just couldn't believe, though, that that's how they did him in Milwaukee. I saw Giannis ain't too happy about it either. Giannis is pretty pissed off. There you go, LeBron. Why don't you go play with Milwaukee? You guys can both win together. There you go. But I saw Damian Lillard, though. Does look like there's a possibility that, who knows, maybe he could land in Cleveland. I saw that Darren Waller, talk a little football real quick, little football. Darren Waller, I saw he's back in the NFL. He quit on his rap career already, which is crazy because his newest song I actually thought was one that could possibly stick. But Darren Waller is back at the NFL because they sent Jonnu Smith and Jalen Ramsey from Miami all the way to Pittsburgh. And now his agent got him a call, got him a job. So now it looks like Darren Waller will be the starting tight end moving forward for the Miami Dolphins. So it'll be excited to see how that goes. And who knows, maybe he can do the rap while he's also playing football at the same time. But I think there's still more in the tank for Darren Waller, and I'm excited to see how he's going to perform in Miami. I have nothing against Miami. I like the coach, Mike McDaniel. I think Mushbrain 2 was awesome. I like the Cheetah, which he really lives up to that moniker, huh? What is that, 6 kids with 6 different moms while he's married? I forget how that one goes. But with that being said, though, that is the sports talk going on in the world today. Excited to see what news unfolds between now and next episode of Pull Up a Chair. But this was Pull Up a Chair episode 109, getting ready to close out. We will be going live tonight No, normally we do Friday nights, but tonight we will be going live for Bumps and Bruises with me and Scotty Two Stone. We got a lot of fun stuff planned for the show, a lot of fun debates, a lot of fun stuff that we're excited to talk about. And then once again on Saturday, we got Sleepless Radio, episode 251, winners bracket matchup, Outcast versus Ray Shremmer, me versus Danathan Daly, 14 rounds. He'll be representing Outcast. I'll be representing Ray Shremmer, baby. Battle of Atlanta, 2 generations, winners bracket showdown. Looking really forward to it. And once again, happy birthday, America. Well, almost, I should say. And leave out those milk and cookies and Olympic gold medals for the great Kurt Angle. And with that being said, as we're getting ready to close out of here, RIP once again, Michael Madsen. You will be missed on all of our screens and in our hearts. I can guarantee you that. I'm going to probably have to pop in Hateful Eight or Reservoir Dogs or maybe both. Really give you a good honor and pour one out for you tonight, Michael. So with that being said, it's Mr. Keep the Love High and the Hate Low. Wake up with a smile on. Remind yourself the 3 things you're grateful for, and you look in that mirror and you say, I love you. And with that being said, new merch available now, 29 candles available now. So be it. Freestyle available now. Hit the link in bio for the tree of links. It'll lead you to wherever you got to go. And if you haven't already, hit that like, hit that subscribe. And if you have already hit it, well, I greatly appreciate it, as we all do. And with that being said, I love y'all. See you later for some Bumps and Bruises. Peace. Smile more. Your soul needs it.